Today, we expose one of the darkest open secrets in modern British housing. While 1.3 million people sit on social housing waiting lists, while families pile into emergency B&Bs, while young professionals are paying 60% of their salary just to share a flat with strangers, hundreds of thousands of perfectly good UK homes are sitting completely empty. And the landlords who own them have made a calculated decision to leave them that way. This isn't speculation. The industry body property mark confirmed in April 2026 that there are now over 350,000 homes across the UK empty for over 6 months. Earlier, government data shows England alone has 676,000 empty homes worth a combined £212 billion. And while exact council-by-council numbers are still being compiled, conservative estimates suggest more than 100,000 of these empty homes belong to private landlords who have made an active, deliberate choice. Leave the home rotting rather than rent it out under the new rules. Why? Because on May 1st, 2026, Britain's biggest renter protection law in 40 years came into force. And landlords across the country looked at the new rulebook, looked at the fines, looked at the legal exposure, and decided they'd rather pay double council tax on an empty property than ever take on another tenant. The result? A national housing crisis that's getting worse, not better. Rents climbing in 80% of UK postcodes. Tenants outbidding each other on flats they haven't even seen. Empty bedrooms in every borough of every city in Britain. Locked, dark, deteriorating. While the people who need them are being priced into homelessness. We've spent days digging through ONS data, land registry records, council enforcement reports, and landlord industry surveys. What we found is a system collapsing in plain sight. So we're going to walk you through exactly how 100,000 UK homes ended up empty, who's behind it, and what it means for the rent you'll pay next year. But before we get into it, if you're a tenant, a homeowner, or someone watching their housing options vanish in real time, hit that subscribe button right now. We're British Front Media, and the property industry doesn't want this information out there. The big landlord associations have lobbyists. We have you. Every subscriber, every share, every comment forces these stories higher up the algorithm. So, subscribe. Drop a comment with your city. Let's expose what's really happening. The trigger. On May 1st, 2026, the Renters' Rights Act came into force. The government described it as the most significant change to renting in nearly 40 years. Section 21, no-fault evictions abolished overnight. All tenancies converted to rolling periodic agreements with no end date. Landlords now allowed to raise rent only once per year, with tenants empowered to challenge any rise they consider unfair. No more bidding wars. No more demanding multiple months of rent up front. The legislation was a tenant's dream and a small landlord's nightmare. The penalty. A single procedural slip under the new Act can now trigger fines of up to £40,000 plus rent repayment orders of up to 12 months, meaning a single mistake could bankrupt a small portfolio. Compliance has gone from a checklist to a minefield. And landlords have noticed. The exodus. This is where the numbers become staggering. Industry estimates show that around 93,000 landlords exited the UK rental sector in 2025 alone, with another 110,000 forecast to leave during 2026. That's over 200,000 landlords gone in just 2 years. According to the same data, around 290,000 properties were sold out of the rental sector between April 2021 and October 2024, and the pace has only accelerated. Property listings data shows buy-to-let homes hitting the market at a rate of approximately 700 per day across the UK. But here's the part the headlines miss. Selling isn't the only exit. A growing number of landlords aren't selling at all. They're locking the doors, paying the council tax, and walking away. They've calculated that the financial pain of holding an empty property is now lower than the legal and regulatory risk of holding a tenanted one. The London catastrophe. In the capital, the situation has reached crisis levels. 39% of London landlords are considering leaving the market entirely within the next year. Letting agents in London are reporting that 70% of their landlord clients are either selling or seriously contemplating it. Last quarter, half of all homes listed for sale in London were previously rented properties. Compare that to just 16% across the rest of the UK. London's private rental market is being dismantled in slow motion, and most Londoners haven't even noticed yet. The empty homes catastrophe. Now layer on top of all this the existing empty homes problem. Liverpool tops the list of UK cities with the most vacant rental properties. 4.7% of its rental stock is sitting unused, around 10,769 homes. Burnley and Blackpool both have 4.4% empty rates. In Cornwall, 16,713 homes sit out of regular use, 1 in every 16 properties in the entire county. In wealthy Kensington and Chelsea, 1 in 9 homes is out of regular use, with 1,306 long-term empty properties and 9,045 second homes. The council tax punishment that isn't working. The government's response has been to escalate council tax penalties on empty properties. As of April 2026, in most English councils, if a home has been empty and unfurnished for 1 to 5 years, the owner now pays a 100% premium, double the normal council tax. For 5 to 10 years empty, it's a 200% premium, triple the bill. After 10 years, a 300% premium kicks in, quadruple council tax. On top of that, since April 2025, councils can charge a 100% premium on second homes, meaning a furnished but unused property is taxed at double too. Almost every council in England, 292 of 296 billing authorities, has now adopted these premiums. And it's still not working. Why? Because for many landlords, the maths is simple. A £4,000 council tax bill on an empty Band D property is cheaper than a single £40,000 Renters' Rights Act fine, or a single rent repayment order, or a single tenant who refuses to leave and stretches the new court process out 12 to 18 months. The cost-benefit calculation now favours leaving the property empty. Why landlords genuinely refuse to rent? Talk to any private landlord in Britain right now and they'll list the same fears in the same order. First, the abolition of Section 21 means they cannot regain possession of their own property without a court process that can drag on for over a year. Second, the new statutory framework on rent reviews means tenants can object to any rent rise and force a tribunal hearing. Third, the formalisation of the Decent Homes Standard for the private rented sector means a single damp patch or faulty boiler can trigger investigation, fine, or rent repayment order. Fourth, landlord insurance premiums are climbing as insurers price in the new legal exposure. Fifth, mortgage costs since 2022 have stripped most small portfolios of their margin entirely. And sixth, the cumulative weight of compliance, right to rent checks, Tenant Fees Act, electrical safety standards, EPC rules, local licensing schemes, has transformed landlording from passive income to an actively managed compliance operation. For a portfolio landlord with 3 or 4 properties earning maybe £15,000 to £25,000 net per year, the new regime simply isn't worth it. So they sell. Or, increasingly, they shut the door and walk away. The auction exploitation. Meanwhile, professional investors are circling the carcass of the small landlord sector. Auction House recently reported a 70% jump in rental homes, with sitting tenants being sold under the hammer in a single month, with 46 tenanted rentals sold in April 2026 versus 27 in the same month last year. Cash-rich corporate buyers are picking up properties from exhausted small landlords at fire sale prices and converting them, often to short-term lets, holiday lets, or simply leaving them empty as long-term capital appreciation plays. The brutal reality for tenants. The empty homes scandal isn't an abstract policy problem, it's a real-world disaster for British renters. Wendy Dearden of the Bevan Foundation captured it perfectly. It cannot be right that tonight, thousands of families across Wales will go to bed in cramped, unsuitable rooms in B&Bs, while perfectly good houses sit empty across the country. The same is true in every region of the UK. Over 250,000 people are currently in housing need in England, yet over 260,000 homes sit empty long-term, and over 1 million if you include second homes, holiday lets, and furnished empties. The arithmetic is brutal. There are more empty homes in Britain than there are families on the streets needing them, the council failure. And here's where it gets darker. Property Mark's research found that of UK local authorities responding to Freedom of Information requests, Just 38% have an empty homes strategy, only 41% employ at least one dedicated empty homes officer, and a mere 25% have a dedicated budget to bring empty homes back into use. 3/4 of British councils have no real plan, no money, and no enforcement to deal with the empty homes problem. Empty dwelling management orders, the legal tool councils have to forcibly bring empty homes back into use, are barely ever deployed because councils don't have the staff to process them. What this means for you. If you're a renter, the contraction of the private rented sector means rising rents for years to come. The 700 properties leaving the buy-to-let market every day are not coming back. Rents in London and the South East are still rising even as house prices fall, because the supply of available rental homes is shrinking faster than demand. Expect bidding wars. Expect 12-month upfront demands disguised as guarantor schemes. Expect properties listed at one rent and let at another. If you're a homeowner, your local council's failure to bring empty homes back into use is directly suppressing the supply of housing in your area, propping up prices artificially, and pushing your council tax bill higher to fund temporary accommodation costs. If you're a small landlord still holding properties, the writing is on the wall. The Renters' Rights Act is just Phase 1. Phase 2 arrives later in 2026, with a mandatory landlord register and a new private rented sector ombudsman. 3 things to do this month. First, if you're renting and your landlord starts behaving erratically, refusing repairs, hinting at sale, get every communication in writing immediately. The new act gives you protection, but only if you can prove the breach. Second, if you live near a clearly empty property, report it to your council's empty homes officer. Most councils will not act unless the public reports it. Third, if you're a small landlord, get professional regulatory advice before May's transition deadlines run out. The £40,000 fines are real. The truth nobody wants to admit is this: Britain doesn't have a housing shortage. Britain has a housing distribution catastrophe. Hundreds of thousands of empty homes locked behind a regulatory regime so hostile to small landlords that they would rather pay double council tax than rent the property out, while families sleep in B&Bs paid for by the same councils failing to enforce the empty homes laws already on the books. Now, if this video opened your eyes to what's really going on in British housing, hit that subscribe button one more time. Drop a comment with which city you're in and what you're seeing on the ground. And subscribe to British Front Media because we're doing this every single week. New investigation, new expose, new truth the property industry doesn't want you to hear. Until next time, read the data, question the headlines, and protect your home.